Hey, hello, I'm Kråkan, also known as Corvus Cornix, so welcome to Yacc, yet another Crowcast where I pick a game, I play it for a week, and then I talk about it. This week's game is Contra for the NES. It was released in 1988, and it's a run and gun originating on the arcade. Developed by Konami and published by Konami. And also there will be spoilers up ahead, just so you know, but first a little backstory. This might seem a little strange to some people, but I never knew about this game growing up, and there's a good reason for it, because here in Europe it wasn't released as Contra, it was released under another title called Probotector, and as far as I know, the only difference between the games are a couple of sprite swaps. So the game starts out with a selection. You can select between 1 or 2 players. You can play as Bill Racer or Lance Beam, 2 shirtless guy in blue and red pants with machine guns basically. So you start out the game with 3 lives if you don't use the Konami code, and these lives are represented on the screen in form of medals. So you jump with the A button, or more or less you somersault, and the B button fires your machine gun. And this is a very important thing. Everything in this game kills you with 1 hit, no exceptions. So the game starts you out, you are just dropped down in the middle of the jungle. It's a run and gun, scrolling left to right. There's no timer, just score. It's just a pure arcade game. So the first stage is the jungle. Enemies, gun turrets, and running soldiers. The boss on this stage is a blue metallic wall. It's a little bit hard to explain, but on the top of this tower there's a gunman. In the middle there's like 2 turrets, and at the bottom there's like a breakable panel with like a red circle, I guess. And you shoot that circle to blow up the thing and get inside. So while in this thing, the perspective from the character changed. You're now behind the players. You can duck by pressing down on the D-pad and jump with the A button. You have to destroy the red wall panels to progress and avoid every projectile that's been flung at you, and that's actually harder than it seems. So the boss of this level is you destroying some red ball thing, and that reveals a big disco ball, like I wrote in my notes here, the disco ball of death, but because I couldn't really explain what it was, but you blow up the thing and you move on. So the third stage is a waterfall. You just scale the waterfall on platforms, get to the top, and the boss here is a xenomorph straight out of the Alien movies, and just pumping full of lead. So the next stage is base 2, and it's basically like base 1. The perspective will change from behind, so you have to destroy the panels and proceed. And the boss here is like a similar thing. You shoot these red balls to reveal some heads. This game is really weird, man. Just gotta tell you that, but destroy the heads and move on. The next stage I'd really liked is called the Snowfield, and it's basically a snowy landscape with pine trees, and for some reason there's some pipe bombs that drop down and explode, and you avoid soldiers, and there's some platforming. A really nice stage for change. And there are a couple of mini bosses throughout. There's like a tank battle, you fight once and there's like a little space, and then it's the tank battle again. And the boss is like a flying thing, like a droid from out of Star Wars or something. But yeah, blow it up and proceed. So the next stage is the energy zone, and I wrote here in my notes that I call it the Techno Factory for some reason. And this stage introduced flames, or like flamethrowers, and the boss of the stage is a jumping robot. So the next stage is the hangar, and it has spike walls that you basically blow up to progress. And you have these things that look like grabby hands, these metal hands. And there's a mine carts as well, and the boss here is a wall, literally just a wall, like a doorway. So the final stage of the game is the alien layer, and this is straight out of H.R. Giger's perverted fantasies. If you've seen the Alien movies, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and there are even some alien references here blatantly, like facehuggers and the alien, like an alien head. And the final boss of this stage is a giant heart. And then there's like an outro credit sequence where an island blows up and you save the universe, and that's pretty much the end of the game. So gameplay. It's a run and gun, go from left to right, go through the stages, try to survive, and save the universe. Control, the D-pad moves the character around. Down on the D-pad is duck, and if you can aim with the gun if you stand still. If you press up, you can aim upwards, and it has like a 40-degree angle aim. Just like Metroid, you can aim down or up, and this is very useful when you're basically shooting at everything, I guess. The A button jumps, or more or less it's just a somersault, because that's cooler, and the B button fires your machine gun, and the start button pauses. So I just realized I forgot to talk about the most important part of this game, and that's the guns. So throughout the game you can get different gun upgrades. So these are like letters with wings on them, right? So the one you want to have is the the S one, because that's a spread gun and it spreads bullets all over the screen when you shoot. There's also like other types of gun, which is like an R or an M or like an L. The L one is for laser, and it's only good for like one of the bosses, like the droid bosses, because it deals a lot more damage for some reason. But overall, you want to have the spread gun. Graphics. I really like the graphics of this game, especially the backgrounds. In the jungle area, there's some mountains, and the snowy field is just, well, it looks like it's a really cold place with pine trees and stuff. And also the sprite art of the characters look really good. Sound and music. Hideniro Masame and Kiyohiro Sada made the music for this game, and it's really good. I can't hum a single tune up the top of my head, but it's a good soundtrack. Easter eggs, secrets, and glitches. So there's one thing about this game that pretty much everyone knows about, and that's the Konami code. At the start screen, you press up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A, and start. And that will give you 30 lives instead of 3, so it goes a little easy on you. This game is hard as balls, and it's so unforgiving. I can't beat this game with 3 lives. In fact, I've never beaten it. So I think it's good to have like a little cheat code. Makes the game a little sweeter in my opinion. In conclusion, I wrote, yes, play it, it's a classic, but it's hard. So if I had this game as a kid, I probably would have been better at it, but I'm not. It's just like, I think someone said it's like NES hard, right? So if you grew up with Contra, and Punch-Out is a good example, you know how to, maneuver through the bosses, you know how to play the game. But if you pick up like Punch-Out and Contra today, it's not one of those casual games really. But I mean, it's still a good game, right? But it's super hard. On the negative end, I just suggest play this game with the Konami code, because 3 lives is kind of crazy to just try to go through the game. I know there are people that actually can do it. It's like a casual thing, they just do it now and then, but I can't. So yeah, it's a good game. Go play it. So anyway, thanks for listening and or watching, and take care.